Hey everyone, James here. Just a quick reminder to you guys that these narrations are best enjoyed with headphones on. Hey everyone, to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the day that World War II ended in Europe, commonly known as VE Day, I've decided to review one of the best World War II real-time strategy games on Steam. Does this game deserve this accolade? Let's find out.
Yesterday morning at 2:41 a.m. at General Eisenhower's headquarters, General Jodl, the representative of the German High Command, and of Grand Admiral Dönitz, the designated head of the German state, signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea, and air forces in Europe to the Allied expeditionary forces and simultaneously to the Soviet High Command.
This speech signaled the end of one of the most bloodiest conflicts of the 20th century, World War II. After the several years of bloodshed between the Allied powers, that's Britain and America and Russia, and the Axis powers, that's Germany, Italy, and Japan in Europe, as we remember all the people who bravely died during this conflict. But I digress. Let's get on with this review. This game is set during the later stages of World War II. Germany has taken a massive gamble. They have decided to initiate an all-out assault on Russia, codenamed Operation Barbarossa. The story picks up when the Germans tried to retreat back to Germany at the Battle of Stalingrad. You play as a brave Soviet commander who leads your troops against the German war machine and lead the Russian counterattack on Berlin in this game's epic campaign. The accessibility scores are as follows. Visibility we give it 7. There are no colorblind modes in this game to support colorblind players. Also, there are no ways to customize the player colors when setting up a multiplayer game. The teams are red and blue. Red for the Axis, blue for the Allies. As I've said time and time again, red and blue are not hard to set when it comes to colorblind people, but it still needs addressing nonetheless. Audibility we give it 7. This game has in-game subtitles, so you can understand what's being said in the campaigns. In multiplayer, on-screen notifications will appear during certain in-game events. For example, when one of your squads is getting wiped out by the enemy. When more significant events, for example when strategic points are being taken by the enemy, on-screen notifications will appear. This evens out the battlefield when taking on another player online. Mobility we give a 9. Similar to all RTS games, this game is mainly controlled by the mouse. Hotkeys are present in this game for the more competitive players, but these hotkeys are not redefinable. Again, this game puts mobility impaired players at a severe disadvantage. Not exactly the game that will take Berlin by Christmas. In terms of this category, it would be best to buy Halo Wars 2 instead. First off, that game has a controller option, and the interface is a lot more accessible to mobility impaired players. Last but not least, gameplay. I gave it 10. Gameplay wise, this is probably the best World War II real-time strategy games available on Steam. First off, you've got the standard campaign and two factions, Russia and the Wehrmacht, then known as the German Army. But when you own the game's expansion packs, the Western Front armies, which adds the US forces and the October Commando West. If you really are invested in this game, the British forces are also purchasable via the Steam store. The Ardennes Assault and expansion pack adds an additional campaign to the Company of Heroes 2 experience. In this campaign, you play as a US commander who has to lead its forces against a last-ditch attempt by the Germans to keep the Allies out of Berlin. This conflict between the US and German forces is known as the Battle of the Bulge. The multiplayer elements of this game is focused on esports. The game's mechanics is heavily influenced by the highly successful Dawn of War 2. Multiplayer matches are focused primarily on map control. There are strategic points dotted around the map, which granted access to additional resources which can be used to requisition additional troops or vehicles. In Conquest mode, which is the most common game type in Company of Heroes 2, map control is practically the objective. The DNA of Halo Wars 2 is present in this game, most particularly its map control elements. But the main question is, should you buy this game? I'd say not. There are by far better games out there which is similar to this game. Dawn of War 2 perfects the gameplay style that this game has. Halo Wars 2 may come close second, with a better, smoother interface with the controller option to match and cross-platform multiplayer between PC and Xbox player, and is available on Xbox Game Pass. I would say Halo Wars 2 would probably be the best option if you're looking for an RTS similar to Dawn of War 2. And the overall score is 82.5%. See you guys in the next review. Remember to stay safe, stay inside, stay alive. Spawn Commander 1998. Roll out, Spawn Company.